All right. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Between the Sheets, What Lies Between the Pages. And I am super excited. I met this incredible woman, Luce Sutherland, last year at the Rose City conference here in Windsor. So welcome to the show, Luce.
Thank you so much, Dorothy. I'm ecstatic to be here. Thank you.
I feel like we were talking a little bit in the green room before we hit record, and I feel like Luce and I are best friends. It's funny because that was the first time I've ever went to a book show, but my aunt introduced me to romance novels at the age of 16, and I swear I have read thousands of them. And so I'm going to treat myself. I'm going to go to this conference. I have no idea what to expect, except for it might be like a big book sale show, but like I didn't care. I wanted to meet some authors, and yes, I'm an author myself, but I've never written romance. It was my memoir of overcoming a bunch of crap, and I'm like, I want to write a romance novel, and then I come down your aisle, and there you are with this big, juicy,
Yes.
man like cover. And you had some kind of board, I think. And I just struck up a conversation because that's what I do. I like talking to people. I like getting to know people. And you had said that you just started writing and you wrote Delicious Surrender, which I'm telling you, people, it is one of the best books I've ever written or read, not written, read in a hell of a long time. And so I normally don't read about this world, the BDSM world, but it's definitely I pop in and out of this world, and I love it when I get into it. And I'm just like, I don't know, but I'm sure there has to be a lot of research on that.
I apologize. I'm sitting here giggling.
I love it. I love it. So before we get into the beef and potatoes of this,
Yes.
I want you to share a little bit about yourself, Liz, because you're like so freaking amazing.
Thank you, Dorothy. Wow. So it was your first book event. It was my first book event. And the stars aligned. My sister lives in Windsor. And so I had built-in help to sit down and be at the table with me. I wasn't going to be all by myself. I shipped a pile of books. I had no idea what to expect. I got the banner done and I blew up the cover on like a little board that would hopefully stop people in their tracks. Yeah. And it's a whole other story about how I found the man that's on the cover. And it was an adventure, to say the least. But for a long time, decades, in fact, I have wanted to write a book, but my career and family and everything else always got in the way. So if I was on vacation, I could just blast out and with no plan whatsoever, with no outline, I would just throw some stuff down on the page and get 20,000 words in the course of a vacation. Then I'd come home and it would get shuffled aside. And every time I picked it back up, I would look and say, no one's going to read this. Like, where am I going? I have no idea. I have no roadmap. I have no outline. I have no idea. It was a good idea at the time. And as we talked about prior to hitting record, my husband said, well, why don't you just send out, make a book, love scenes 1 to 9 or something. So they're like unfinished fantasy bits and pieces. I said, no, I can't take these little babies that deserve to grow into a full-fledged novel and just throw them out and say, finish it however you like. No, I don't think that's not going to fly. So anyway, 30 years later, I was gifted the opportunity of solitude. The work, my workload lessened because people weren't traveling. Mm-hmm. I had, I call it the benefit and the detriment of being stationed out west for a period of time, like a year and a half. And all my family is East Coast. My family's Toronto area, Ontario. And so at 6:00 my time, Pacific, they were all saying, well, we'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a good night. I said, okay, well, what am I going to do for the next 4 hours? Well, I'm a night owl, so 6 hours, 7 hours.
Mhm.
And I said, well, this is it. If you are never going to get a gift like this, and you've been talking about it, and people have been asking, and you've just said, yeah, one day, one day. And so that's how it all started. It was a hell of an undertaking, having not had any formal training. And so I'm self-taught, but I listened to every podcast. I listened to every webinar I possibly could get my hands on. And I could go on about that, but take a breath.
I can't believe that you've had no formal training, because I'm telling you, after reading thousands of romance novels, I couldn't put this book down. Like, I could not put it down. And I mean, it flowed beautifully, because sometimes that's not the case, especially with new authors, but it flowed, and it was just like, I could visualize myself there. And I'm just like, okay, I don't know how this works, but I'm interested in learning more just after reading this book. And we had talked about, what goes into research and books and things like that. So what made you decide to write this type of novel?
Honestly, I think the biggest influence on me, and people can say what they want about 50 Shades of Grey, but when that hit the market, it was early 2012, 2013, sometime around then, when that hit the market, it didn't matter that I mean, I know the backstory. I did lots of research on it. E.L. James never really had it properly edited. She started as fan fiction. She was at the absolute cusp, like a perfect point in social media, in e-readers, where you didn't have to hold a dirty book in your hand. And I say that in my bio. When I would go into the store and I would look in the section, there was just this very small shelf at the top of fiction where you'd find Black lace novels and erotic novels, and they were fabulous. But you had to take it up to the cash. You had to, quietly have the pimple-faced kid ringing you up, and then out you went. But when that book came out, I think that it changed people's perception. Like, it became okay after that, and it became, people were actually willing to talk about it. They were talking about the water cooler. It was the cool thing to do. Haven't you read that? Oh, if you haven't, you should. Even whatever you think of it when you're finished, it doesn't matter. But it kind of broke this taboo feeling about the nature of those books. So I devoured them. I devoured them and everything that came after. And so when I thought about writing one, and I had tried my hand at maybe you can call it cozy romance or non-open door, whatever it was. I tried that, but sorry, but I lost interest. So I had to make it spicy to keep my interest. And I mean, I must have read, hundreds. And so I felt that I was an informed author from having done personal research.
Right. Whoops.
What happened? Oh, there we are. Okay.
Sorry.
It's all right.
The button got hit accidentally.
So then I had to dive into the actual research. So anyway, and
anyway, the foreword is to her husband, so I'll let you buy the book and read the foreword. But I absolutely loved it, and I hope he's like strutting his stuff when women look at him.
They looked at him quite a bit differently than. Oh, now it makes.
Maybe.
He is strutting, like you said. Absolutely.
Maybe he'll be on the book of the cover on the next book.
If I write a Silver Fox romance, yes. Yes.
Yeah, it's funny you said that, because my very first episode of this show, she is a cancer survivor and her husband passed away. But she said that she wants to write a romance novel of like when they're in their 50s, right? Because that's when the menopause hits for us women and things like that. And to do a romance, I'm like, okay, I get you. And that's real life. And it's freaking depressing. And are we going to read it? I mean, that's what we go through, but are we going to actually read it?
I would prefer to suspend all reality and be 30 again. I admit it. Yeah, because I can totally. I'm with you. I would rather it be total fantasy.
Right?
What's physically possible.
I'm like, I get you.
Yeah.
And it's a depressing time right now.
Very much so. That's why I think romance, romantasy, all of it is flying. It's still flying off the shelves. Someone said to me that they were writing recently a romantic fantasy, and she said, "Oh, I feel like the market's saturated." I said, "Don't ever think the market is saturated. It's not."
No.
Because if you have a Kindle Unlimited membership, you can read. Yeah, same here. Listen, as an author, it just doesn't pay the bills, but it gets your name out there when you are a debut author, when you're unknown. People are much more willing to take a chance and say, "Oh, I'm going to check this out, download it, and see if I like it." And I had someone recently write a review that said, "Oh, this wasn't what I expected. It's about dominance and submission." I'm like, yeah, it is. But Amazon is so over the top on what words you can use in your blurb that you need to say it without saying it. You need to convey what's in between the sheets without saying it.
Right.
And so, yeah, you're going to get the odd person who really didn't know what they were getting and might be disappointed, but that's okay. I'm glad she put it in black and white there for me and said what it is.
And the thing of it is, okay, so my husband benefits from me reading some of these things because I mean there are some things I'm like, hey, are you willing to try something? And so thank God it, we won't go too much into it. And I'm just like, okay, he enjoyed it. He got, he got what he needed. And so, I mean, people just think, oh, that's another smutty romance novel. But the thing of it is, you can learn from any book that you read. You can learn something, whether it's because, I mean, if you really grab a hold of this book, right, it's I love the fact that it's in Scotland. I'm part Scottish, so I absolutely love that. And of course, are you really? That's so awesome.
Yes. So Sutherland is in my family tree. The name is in my family tree, and so that's why I picked it as my pen name. And my grandmother, on my father's side, his mother was Scottish, and I have Scottish relatives. He did the family tree all the way back to like the late 1700s. And I've been to Scotland twice, and I felt just, I don't know, I felt a complete completion. I felt like I'd been there before. I loved every single minute of it, and I could see myself living there. So, yeah, had to be Scotland.
I've never been. I've always wanted to, and I will get there eventually. But that I loved part of that, and in that world, and these billionaires, millionaires, how did they make their money? And then you come across this mousy little Bryn, who is just like, oh, I'm a writer, and I want to learn. She wants to write this great novel, and she wants to learn how some of these are done, right? And anyways, without ruining the story for everybody, it's just one of those things that her innocence is what makes the book even better, because like you would never in a million years think that this lady would do some of the things she does in this book. And so and
studying it on the page or doing the online research, it just didn't cut it.
That's right. That's right. You got to try new things.
Right.
I love it. So this delicious surrender, though, is, you said I don't know if it was the beginning or the end, that it's part of 3 books.
Yes.
So when can we expect number 2?
Well, I am deep into book 2 now, and I can say that with full honesty. I have been I've had writer's block. I have had a million excuses not to sit down. It's when I get immersed in the book, I know that it's going to flow. And it's funny, I have a complete outline. All of that has been done. I have had, the first 3 chapters kind of written, but for whatever reason, I think it's like turning on the tap, and the tap for several months was off. And now I am immersed. Now it's all I think about when I go out for a bike ride or I go out for a walk. I'm thinking, type into my phone messages to myself. And I did that. I was sitting at the kitchen counter the other day, and I thought of this entire scene, and I just typed it into my phone. For me, it is, I'm very, very easily distracted. I have a bit of ADD, and this new character, Cole, has ADHD. I can write that with certainty. And it was, all of it is about getting in the heads of your characters. And I had built the character backgrounds first, which is always wise. And then I just felt like I was struggling to get it going. And anyway, I swear it's underway. I would like to be able to get it out by the end of this year, and then get my ass in gear and start 3. Book 3 is about the third billionaire in their friendship.
Right.
And that one has more. I've written more of that one, but it's about a writer too, so I didn't want it to be book 2. But that one I was more excited about. I could get a better grip on it, if you know what I mean. Like, I'm trying to make the characters really, really unique. I have delved into their backgrounds much more than I did in the first book to sort of show where the arc of where they've come from and where they're getting to, and still make it have a thriller. It has a piece that's thriller and suspenseful and danger and all that good stuff. Anyway, it's underway. It is definitely. So I have found a new spot in my house to write from. I used to work my day job at this exact spot, and it still smacks of work. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a whole mindset thing. So I've changed the location. I've got to a spare bedroom and set myself up into this cozy little cave. Don't come to the door unless it's something important, and leave me be. So, yeah.
So when you're immersed in that world, is there anything that you listen to as you're writing, or anything that you're drinking as you're writing?
So for book 1, yes, I put on a instrumental sort of playlist that I have with a lot of just cool stuff you find on the channels on TV, like sleep noise or what have you. I haven't this time. I have made sure the windows are open so I can see light, but I haven't had any sound in the background. I think when I get down into editing is when I like to block out the other stuff. I put a different hat on. I struggled at first with wanting to edit everything a day after writing it, and that was stupid. and letting people read it too soon. Also know that I can't do that. So a lot of the things that I learned the first time around, I now know, I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to change it up and not fall into that trap. So, but yeah.
Well, when you're ready for a beta reader, let me know. I'll be a beta reader.
Okay, fantastic.
Sure.
No, that is good, because you know from the first book. So I will, Dorothy, absolutely. All on you for that.
I'm just like sitting here in awe, because, like I said, when I met you, I was like, shit, this woman went after her dream and made it happen. And I mean, it's hilarious that the excuses we tell ourselves, right? On why we can't do something. Oh, I'm too old for that. Or, I don't have experience. I don't have an education in journalism, or the shit like that.
There's a million reasons why we don't do it. And one of the questions you asked me, or you mentioned in your note before we got together, was, what did you have to overcome? I had to overcome like a shyness about writing about this kind of topic. I had to get over imposter syndrome. What the hell do I know? Yes, I've read a million books, but do I actually have the skill? Do I have the skill with words? Do I even know how it will be structured? I could read everything on the planet. And I will do a shout out to two organizations or two things that really, really helped me. In the very beginning, I read The Snowflake Method. And it's a super simple book by a guy named Randy Ingramson, something like that. And it's written like a child's fairy tale almost, of how you take one sentence and you think of the sentence as the very, very core of a snowflake, and then you just keep on growing it and growing it. And it was a simple way of growing one idea into all of these little tiny elements that became the full story. And the other one was the 100-Day Book, because when I completely stalled after a year and a half and having a first draft and, okay, what do I do now? What kind of editor do I look for? Or actually, sorry, before I'd even finished, I had written, let's say 70% of it, 60% of it, and I was stalled. And the 100-Day Book was this program you sign up for and you become accountable. You say, if I don't, you have to submit a word count every week. Oh, and wow. Your writer peers are doing the same. And then at the end of it, if you make the deadline, which was December 2022, then you can get $100 back. So there's a financial incentive, but you also have to build in negative pain if you don't achieve your writer thing. So it's not only your ego is bruised because you didn't submit and everybody in your community saw that you didn't make your count, mm-hmm. but you weren't allowed, a chocolate or chips or a glass of wine or something that you really, really wanted as a reward. You didn't get if you didn't make your word count. That worked well for me because I have a discipline problem and a procrastination problem, which I think many of us do, when there's no one cracking a whip except you.
Right.
Get it done. And that was the biggest thing to overcome. So. Wow. Mm-hmm.
Love it. Thank you for sharing that. I never thought of that, Mm-hmm. It's funny because I recently had to start physiotherapy, and the other day I said to my husband, I'm making you make me accountable for doing this. I have to 7:30 to get into the bedroom and do these exercises.
Yep.
And he looked at me because I've never asked this before. Mm-hmm. And he said, okay. And I was in there by 6:30 getting it done. But meanwhile, I would have just said, oh, I'm really not feeling like it tonight. Right?
Exactly. The more people you tell. And so I told a few people, on one hand, I didn't want anyone asking me, oh, so how's it going?
Yes.
But the more people I told I'm really actually doing this, the more people said, how's it going? And it was really pissed me off when I couldn't say that it was going really great, or I had to lie. Oh, I wrote, 1,000 words last week when really I hadn't. And it just made me that much more, the weight of it was, the more people you tell, I'm going to quit smoking. Oh, how's that going? It's the exact same thing. You are accountable, and it's better if it's a public accountability. So. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. I'm glad that works for you. Like you said, sometimes that might not work, but whatever works. Well, that's the truth. But yeah, you can. And I get it because it's just one white lie.
Exactly.
What do you hope that your readers will get from reading The Delicious Surrender?
So I think when I embarked on it, I wanted women in particular to feel no shame about what they might think about or fantasize about, that they would have a way to bring the topic up, that they could see how someone started out not even acknowledging these desires in her own head until these little layers were peeled away and she got to experience it, and that everything is okay. And in the book, I even listed a point where someone hands her that book, about women's fantasies. What the heck is it called? I forget. It's up on the bookshelf. Oh my God, it was famous book written in maybe the 70s, but it describes every kind of fantasy. And she interviewed thousands of women about their fantasies. And they were allowed to remain anonymous. But if you step back and consider, there's nothing that anyone should be ashamed of, truly.
Right.
And that's what I wanted to get across, that this is okay. What you do in your own home and in your own bedroom is absolutely nobody's business. Exactly. And that also that books allow you to escape into that. Let's say you don't want to jump into it and try it. That's okay. But it's just as exciting to read about it and to imagine it. And right. That's why else do we pull romance off the shelf? Why is dark romance and mafia romance so popular? Men that are built like this with tattoos. Would you ever have dated one? No. But are there?
You can sure as hell fantasize about them.
Yes, exactly. And everyone loves a billionaire with his own jet, and why not? So it was just being able to escape. And I think, when I was originally asked, one of the very first exercises is, well, figure out who's your audience. And I was thinking, well, my audience is, women that have already raised children, probably, or are raising children who are becoming teens. They have a little more time on their hands. Their husband is busy with their career. They might also be busy with their career. But when they want to unwind and they want to pull out of reality and what's on the news and everything that's going on in the world, why not something, titillating? So it's spicy. And that's truly the reason behind it. And I think when I first set it up, I set it up as forcing myself into writing more than one and saying, oh, this is going to be a series, and here are your 3 billionaires, and each story will be hopefully exciting, compelling, and different. So,
I have no doubt they will be. I have no doubt at all that they will be. But I just love that. So do you have like a favorite romance author yourself?
You know what? I can't name just one, but one of the ones that really stood out to me that has, my God, she's unbelievable. The thing is, she's only ever written 3 juicy erotic romances, and her name's Cressley Cole. She's very well known for, I think, romantasy or paranormal. That's her usual, and she's a best-selling author, but she wrote a series, a trilogy of erotic romances: The Master, The Professional, and The Player.
Ooh.
Wow. Honestly, wow. You got to check them out, because her plot, her characters, off the charts good. I also really love Megan March. My only problem with her, and nothing against you, Megan, you're awesome. She writes cliffhangers. So she writes 3 of the same couple, leaves you on a cliffhanger, and charges a lot. For like book 1 might be reasonably priced, but the next 2 are higher price. And I don't think she's on Kindle Unlimited. It was kind of like, if I go down the path of reading the first one, I'm in cha-ching, cha-ching. And, I'm on a budget. Plus I do KU. And so she's another one I love. Sadie Kincaid, I think, is phenomenal. And it's funny, on my website, I list some of my favorite authors, and the woman who I think started it all for me way before 50 Shades is Joanna Lindsay. And up on that very top shelf there is my library of Joanna Lindsay novels. And she wrote historical bodice ripping romances. She's the one who put Fabio on most of her covers. And he was shirtless, and he had these white breeches and big thighs and the whole bit. And they were fabulous. No, they were absolutely fabulous. So I think that put me down this path, this yellow brick road of juicy novels. So those are my top 3. And yeah.
Oh, I love it. I will have to go check them out, because I think I might have heard of Kincaid, but I don't.
Yes.
Sadie Kincaid. I don't think I've heard of the other ones. So
Yep. Okay. Well, good. And Sadie Kincaid a lot of them are mafia, and she has recently been picked up by, I think, a traditional publisher. I think she was mostly only self-published. She's in the UK, and I came across a novel, and then I just started reading lots more of them. They're really good. They're very spicy. So
everybody likes a spicy novel here.
yes.
Especially if you want to, like, I'm so glad that you said you escape into the books, because life can be tricky, and sometimes it can suck.
Yep.
And we are in a mental health crisis right now, and I am thinking, I've done a lot of personal development over the years, and I'm thinking, looking back over the years, what has helped me get through each stage of the suck? And it is escaping into my romance novels, and finding my tribe. So between finding my tribe and escaping into romance novel, now it's not just about sex when you're reading a romance novel, because there's a lesson in each book. Because everybody's like, well, once you read one, you read them all. That's such bullshit.
Exactly.
Because that is not true. I'm on this what is her?
Keeland?
Yes. Oh my God.
I've heard of her. I think I've read one or two, like a while back. But yeah,
I have been binge reading her books, and I have unlimited Kindle.
Yes.
And
it's
I'm
an
just
addiction.
It's an addiction. This woman is like insanely good.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh shit. Like but there is not, like, they're all standalone, which is great. But and you're right. There's a couple authors that I've read that they write like three books of the same people. And that's good to a point, but by the time I'm at the third book, I'm like, just fucking get over yourself, people.
Get
and
married, have kids. What more can you tell us?
Exactly. I am just like, by the end of book 3 of those type, I'm just like, I've had enough. Like, let's move on. Let's build the characters around the character. I mean, once in a while it's not too bad, but I am just like, Lord have mercy.
No,
anyway,
I'm trying not to read too many that, like you said, are series, because I am cutting my reading time down to just really the couple hours before I go to bed, because I want to clear my brain. And so the shorter, the better. Don't drag me down into a 3-book series right now.
Right.
That wouldn't be good.
If you want, normally I have the book right here. If you want novellas, Renee Grondon out of Ottawa.
Okay.
She does novellas, and so does DM Needham. She does novellas. DM Needham is about rocker romance. So if you like rocker romance, then check her out.
And how do you spell Renee's last name? Grandon?
Grondon, I believe.
Okay. Good to know.
She was on my episode last week. So. Okay,
cool. And where do I find you?
So
you can to catch up. Yeah.
You can find us on YouTube at Between the Sheets.
Okay, perfect.
It has its own new YouTube channel. I distinctly put it different from my other podcast that I do. So yeah, go subscribe. And that's where this one will be. Eventually. So yeah, have all your friends subscribe. Even put this episode up on your website, and I have your website going across the bottom, Luce Sutherland. Is that the best way for people to get a hold of you if they wanted to get a hold of you?
Yes, if they want to truly email me, my email address is on there. I'm on Instagram, Luce Sutherland Writes, and Facebook, same. But if they wanted to directly connect, they can do that from the website. I sell an autographed copy from there, and there's a little bit of teaser about 2 and 3 on there. And I do publish a blog. I'm really not very consistent with that, though. I should be better. Live life juicy is my motto, and I speak to why you should and how you can, and not often, sporadically give author updates like what I'm doing. So I could be better. Someone needs to crack the whip. What can I say?
I totally get you. There's just so many hours in a day, and I get you. We have life outside of reading and writing, and so it kind of our day jobs kind of get in the way.
I know. Well, I have no excuse in that regard anymore, because as of like October last year, I was laid off, but it was perfect time for retirement, so I took it. So, no excuses, none.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Luce. I adore you, and you'll have to let us know when the second book comes out, and you have to come back and we'll talk about that one.
I will. I promise, Dorothy. I promise.
But yes, and for those of you, go check out Luce's book. It's absolutely delicious. Surrender is totally delicious. Go check it out. And if anybody's interested, we do have a book club that we are starting up, Between the Sheets book club. So I'll be picking the next book soon here. But yeah, let's get in here, deep dive into these books, have like girl time. Let's have some wine and books, and let's talk about what's between the sheets of these books, and have some fun. Escape this outside craziness, and just have some fun. 100%. So with that, if you could subscribe to our YouTube channel, that would be greatly appreciated. Share with all of your other people that love to read, and we'll come back same time, same channel next week. Bye for now.
Thanks.